Actually, you know what? I said that I wasn't going to give you promotion points at the beginning of the session because it was such a quick session, but I lie. I'm actually going to give you each one promotion point because you found one or more clues that lead to real progress in the investigation.
Cool.
So we left off at the Esper Wall and the LAPD mainframe where you had just discovered Leah's personnel file. Is there anything else you wish to check for right now at the mainframe?
Is there any information about what Sandor and Leah were investigating?
Not specifically, no.
They weren't on any active case or anything that
Apparently
we're
not, no.
aware of? Okay. Is there, what about any other information about any of the other persons of interest that we were looking at?
Such as?
Like Styles. Is there any information on Styles?
Did
in
you
the
guys get a
database?
picture of Styles? You did say
Esper,
you were
I walked
taking
up to the-
photos
We
around.
espered everybody.
You do uncover this profile database on Styles. Oh, you know what? You have to make another tech roll.
Tech roll?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's for each piece of information, but you get advantage because you're there.
All right.
Okay.
Success.
Good enough.
Okay, yes, you uncover this on the man named Styles.
All right. Styles. Let's see. Nexus 8. Incept date 17 July of 2022. His function is hard labor and combat. His physical state and mental state levels are A and C, respectively. That is what we have learned.
You said he is a 9?
He's an
He's
8.
an 8.
8?
He's a Nexus 8.
8s aren't allowed to be in existence on Earth, right?
I think that's good. I think we're good.
Okay, so let us go over to the Wallace headquarters as Malcolm Carroll gets in the spinner. While still under construction, the Wallace Corp HQ towers over the sprawling cityscape, leaving no doubt about who wields the ultimate power in Los Angeles in 2037. These massive buildings are near impenetrable without an invitation, which you have. Having landed your spinner in a huge internal garage, you descend into the cavernous and eerily empty interior, constantly cast in a pale golden light and shadows of water. At the front desk, you are received by a hairless file clerk who, with few words as possible, leads you into an austere and immaculately decorated office. It's cold. It's very cold in here. And while you can see the filtering light of the Los Angeles afternoon trying to force its way through the cloud cover and penetrate through the windows into the interior of this large office. This office has been designed almost like with architectural grandiosity in mind. It's almost like if the pharaohs had technology, they would build such a thing. And there, at the end of a large, again, very immaculately appointed desk, is a woman, and of course, this is Quell. You are ushered into the room. She stands. She dismisses the hairless receptionist with a gesture and looks at you and gestures for you to sit opposite her. She comes around, she waits until you sit, and then she sits down in her chair on the other side of the desk. Malcolm Carroll, correct?
Well, that is correct. And you are Quell.
Yes, thank you for coming. Although you are somewhat later than I had anticipated.
There is a investigation ongoing.
Yes, an investigation that is quite critical. The handling of this case is of utmost importance to the Wallace Corporation. The Nexus 9 launch was just over a year ago, and the public, as no doubt you know, is still getting used to replicants among them. The survival of society as we know it depends on a smooth integration of the Nexus 9s. I need to know what exactly it is that you have discovered so far and how you plan to continue this investigation.
I'm under no illusion, Miss Quell,
Just Quell.
of who is pulling the strings at the department, but I still have to maintain somewhat of a professional demeanor as a investigator here. I will share whatever I can with you as it becomes available, and I would hope you would reciprocate such information.
A Deputy Chief Holden has pledged full disclosure and cooperation with Wallace Corps during this investigation. This is also what I expect. Any consequences of non-cooperation would be unfortunate. I have asked you a question, officer, and I am here to help you, but first you must help me.
Well, as far as what information I have, some of it hasn't come back yet, one way or the other.
And what has come back, officer?
What has come back is an individual by the name of Styles, who appears to be one of your 8 models, is involved.
Involved how?
Involved as in he was there. He was trying to lead us toward the human empathy movement. And he both does not want to be brought in for further questioning, and there are some people there at the scene who seem to want him protected as well.
The 8s should not be brought in for questioning. The 8th should be retired, as far as I understand, that is the duty of a Blade Runner.
That is what we now know, yes.
Anything else?
Well, I need to definitely get information while I'm here on him.
I'm sure you have the capacity to do that at your own mainframe. The Los Angeles Police Department is the wonder of the modern world, after all, when it comes to information harvesting.
Well, the information I'm looking for is going to be in your databases, I believe.
And what particularly are you looking for, officer?
Not only the full stats of this 8 model, but also would like to look into perhaps some specific memory banks of a 9.
Which 9?
That would be the missing officer.
Leah, as she was known among your kind. She was an early Nexus 9 model, with memories designed by Lilith Memory Labs, one of our subcontractors. If you want to know more about Leah's memory design, you should talk to the Lilith Memory Lab, although that would likely be a waste of time. Memory designers are famously secretive about their processes.
But with your assistance, I'm sure they would reveal whatever we needed to know for this investigation.
Quite convinced that you have whatever resources you need at your own disposal to garner a meeting with Lilith Memory Labs. Did you begin to labor under the delusion that we are equals, officer? I should disabuse you of that notion. Although I respect the uniform such as it is, make no mistake, this investigation is being closely regarded by the Wallace Corporation, and it is the Wallace Corporation that represents the last and best hope for all of humanity. It would be best if you were efficient in your investigation and wrapped it up quickly.
Well, this efficiency that you speak of leads me to wonder what you've brought me here for.
You are working a case that is of great interest and importance to Wallace. I wanted to take the mettle of the man who was in charge of that case, and here you are.
You've pulled me out of an investigation. I thought you'd have something for me.
I do. I just gave you the information about Lilith Memory Labs.
Yeah.
Certainly that will be valuable to you.
Is there anything else you can offer?
Is there anything else I can offer you? My congratulations on your swift execution and completion of this case.
Well, it seems that if time is of the essence, there's little to be had here.
If that is your assessment, then that is your assessment. Shall I have you taken back to your automobile?
No, Miss Quill, I will see myself out.
Good luck, officer. As I said, the Wallace Corporation is counting on your rapid discovery and conclusion of this case. All of humanity is. Farewell. She goes to her desk work.
Okay.
Okay, so Meanwhile, that was the totality of shift 2. At the end of shift 2, because at the beginning of shift 2, you guys brought Coco the evidence. Okay, so he has now taken a shift to look at that stuff. And he calls you into the crime lab at the end of the shift. And he pulls the bullet, the deformed bullet that you retrieved from the mirror. He says, well, I've successfully analyzed the bullet. It definitely had Sandor's DNA on it, and it's a rare example of caseless caliber 44 ammunition. It's the type of ammunition used in a PKD 5223 blaster, standard issue for Blade Runners, as you, of course, know.
This is the lethal round, I would assume?
Oh, yes.
Coco, do we know if both Sandor and Leah were armed with that weapon?
I would imagine. It is, as I said, standard issue for Blade Runners.
So he was shot with a Blade Runner weapon.
From behind.
You guys can make a connections roll.
Success for him. One success each.
Okay, you guys do know that there is a vendor called Bullet Bob's Runner Surplus that sells surplus Blade Runner gear. It's in Hawker Circle in Section 4. And that's basically all he can tell you about the bullet. So there's that. So going into the third shift now, evening shift, you are coming back from the Wallace. And again, it didn't take very long, but rules of the game are every time you visit a place, it takes the entire
So the records library, the memory labs, that's not
That's a separate-
that same
no,
HQ.
no.
That's somewhere
Yeah,
else. Okay.
yeah. But as I said, you're all in contact with each other over KIA, so you can choose to do whatever you like with your third shift now.
Yeah.
What's your observation skill?
Mine's an A.
C?
An A, okay. Just because this hasn't come up in your conversations, but it would definitely come up with an observation of an A. You know that on the initial file you have for Leah, that her address is listed there.
Okay.
That would have twigged to you.
Okay. I gotta follow up on a lead. I need to find the cab dispatch. Because pulls up the picture here. Yeah, that's Leah getting into that vehicle. So I need to see what address it was taking her to, and maybe see if we can go to her address as well. But we got a lot of places to be and not a whole lot of feet to get there.
Oh, interesting. There is one other thing you can do. You can leverage your assets. You can take a shift of time, make a connections roll, and leverage your assets to find out like what the word on the street is and stuff like that. That's another thing you can do.
And that happens.
That's an activity in the shift. So instead of going to a place, you can say, I'm going out in the street and talking to my people to see what's what. And if you spend a chin yen point, you get an advantage. You spread the money around.
All right. So, what are the big things we need? Check on where she went.
I think he's.
Her address.
Yeah, this is a good lead.
Yeah, that's
Where,
kind of
where was she
immediate.
going? Where was this thing taking her? We have her address. What else?
My stuff is a little more back burner. I was wanting to get stats on the 8, and then some deep memory information on Leah
From Wallace.
from Wallace. But that's a whole
But
other.
you'll have to go to Lilith Memory for that.
It's a different location. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to follow up on if Crispin can provide Dakota with the address on file for Leah. I'll get my spinner and go check it out.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to the apartment?
Yes.
And what about the other two?
I'm gonna go to the cab dispatch.
Okay.
Which one of you? I'll go along with one of you. Those are definitely. Let's.
Or why don't you head to
Should I do
Lilith
it?
Memory?
Should I do it? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was his. Okay, I'll do that.
Or the gun.
Or
The gun
Bullet
shop.
Bobs.
Bullet
Either
Bobs.
one, if you want to do any kind of ballistics and maybe try to find the source of the round. What would Bullet Bobs tell us?
Like any sales of that particular caliber within the past week.
That's if we're assuming it's not. Have we ruled out that it's a police issued bullet?
Well, it would be it's a standard issue for Blade Runners.
Yeah.
Like
It was definitely fired from a Blade Runner weapon.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily a Blade Runner that had it, so maybe it might be wise to check to see if any of relative faces, mostly see if Styles might have stopped by with a weapon, or someone that we might have. I don't think we would have snagged it on the Esper network, but
Should we put out some, like through the police department, some sort of like APB on Styles to have him detained, or are we keeping this under for now in order to try to find him and not spook him?
You can do that. You can put out an arrest warrant.
I mean, he is an 8.
He's a Nexus 8.
And you guys are still at the LAPD. So you could go to the Deputy Chief Holden's office and make a connections roll, spend a promo point, and get him to put an arrest warrant for Styles if you want. That's an option.
We've only got a promotion point each left.
you got a bunch.
You got a bunch?
I'm just not there.
Well then, Dakota's happy to burn one to put out an APB. if
Oh,
that's-
and sorry, all three of you uploaded evidence to the LAPD frame. All of you.
well, yeah.
Okay,
Well, three
then
of us did.
you can each have another promotion.
My
point.
Esper
nice.
footage, I guess, would have gone up.
Yep.
Yep.
So
All right, I'll burn that one of the promotion points in to put out an APB for Styles.
okay, so you go to see Holden. You make a connections roll.
Ah,
Make
connections
that happen.
One success.
Okay.
Okay. The deputy chief tells you he'll put it out right away. It's instantly done.
Outstanding.
So, sorry, where were you going?
I'm going to Lilith Labs.
Lilith Labs.
Aptly named.
Let us start with Metrocab.
Okay.
Metrocab Dispatch. The main Metrocab Dispatch office is located in a dingy old building in Sector 5. There's about a dozen people working in this run-down and dirty office space. You are greeted by a gruff main Metrocab dispatcher, Irmgard. She's sort of a big, overweight but more muscle than fat. And as soon as you walk in, you can see she's extremely busy. She's taking, she's dispatching cabs and everywhere. But as soon as you walk in, you're trying to introduce yourself, and she's like, yeah. You could tell she's like, not interested in talking to you.
Start to flash the badge, realize it's upside down, and flip it. Crispin Moreau, Rep Detect Unit. I have a few moments of your time, please.
Do I look like I have a few moments to share for you?
It's really important.
Manipulation.
Okay. So I got one success.
Fine, what is it? But make it quick. Very many cabs to be dispatched.
Yeah, I'm looking for this one at this time. It's 4A4 with gives the serial and
The ID number.
the idea, the time of which the Esper.
Sure,
I need to know what the destination was.
She checks her records.
Yes, this cab left the snake pit late on the night and dropped its fare off at Anemoid Row shortly after.
Any specific address or just right at the?
At the entrance.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
That's it?
That's it.
Nothing else you wish to add?
Was there anyone else? Like, did it pick up anyone else on the way, or?
No, not as far as I can tell here. Earl was driver. He did not mention
Is he working right now, or is he nearby? Can I question him?
He's working. I can get him on radio.
Can you get him on radio, please?
But since you make your roll, I will say yes to you.
So she gets on the radio. Eventually, there's some squelching back and forth and everything. Finally,
Yes! Earl, there is policeman here who wish to ask you a question.
hands
Hey.
over the.
Hey, Earl, this is Crispin Moreau, Rep Detect.
Yes, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for someone that you picked up around this time last night. You took them to Anemoid Row. What can you tell?
Oh, yes, I remember her. She was a young woman. Strange. She was very upset. She had a gun. She seemed clearly upset at something. She got out at Anemoid Row and then disappeared into the crowds.
Is there anything? Did she say anything?
No. I just remember, she had a gun, and she was. I was a little afraid, actually.
Yeah, did it look like one of the standard issue Blade Runner?
Oh, I wouldn't know what that looks like.
Oh.
I'm just a cab driver.
Okay. Well, sure.
Anyway, I got a fare.
Oh, okay. Safe driving. Just kind of.
Okay, Mr. Policeman, this is good for you now.
Yes.
You go catch your criminal somewhere else now, okay?
Okay. Thank you. And just kind of like shuffles off out of the.
Leah's apartment.
Yes, Dakota is in her spinner heading to Leah's apartment.
Okay, 21 Honvad Street. Here you can see the building on the outside and also the layout.
It's a high rise.
This is about as standard, grubby Blade Runner apartment that you can get. It's a small studioed apartment in Sector K, not far from the LAPD headquarters. The apartment is very similar to K's in Blade Runner 2049, and it's on the 13th floor. Yes, the 13th floor.
Of course.
The elevator is out of order, and the stairwell is filthy and covered in graffiti. Climbing the stairs, you push your way past a few other residents, who all give you angry stares. On floor 13, when you finally reach there, you get to Leah's door, and you can see the words "skin job" sprayed on the door. And immediately coming down the hallway is a large, burly man who stinks of cheap whiskey. He comes up to you and says, "You friends of that skin job?"
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm a goddamn human, that's who I am. If you're friends with that skin job, you ain't welcome here. Unless you're a skin job yourself.
Unless you fancy spending some quality time downtown in an LAPD cell, you'll step aside, sir.
Manipulation.
Oh, good.
Success.
You can see he was just itching to start something, but when he kind of realizes you're a cop, he just kind of mumbles something under his breath and turns around. And when he gets to the far end, like far end of the hallway from you, "I'll be watching you, skin job," and then sort of disappears into the stairway.
All right. Any other people or
Nobody of
Nothing.
note
but
around here.
The place is pretty run down. you
Yeah.
said? Okay.
Yeah, again, it's like in Blade Runner 2049 when Kay is going to his apartment. It's just gross and there's graffiti and scumbags, people living in the hallways and
Nice.
stuff. However, there is a lock on her door, an electronic lock.
Okay. How would we open this?
Well, you would either basically electronically bypass the lock using a tech roll, or you could force it, prying open. It's up to you.
I suppose we'll try the polite way first.
Okay.
We'll try it. She doesn't have much tech, but
That's a tech roll.
we'll try it.
Success.
3 successes.
No
Dang.
problem. In fact, you find the code immediately and the door opens. There's no sign
Nice.
of forced entry, nothing like that. When the door opens, you find a small and barren apartment, very similar to your own. So when you enter, this is what you see. There's not much in the apartment. There's plenty of empty bottles, mostly vodka, but very, very little food. So again, these are crime scene photos. So you can look for clues and items to investigate in the image itself, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so Dakota will start capturing video.
Okay.
There's an open book on a table. She'll walk to the open book.
It is a collection of poems by William Blake, opened to the famous poem "The Tiger."
This is Tiger, Tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp, dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry?
Examining the book further, you notice that one page has been torn out.
Ah. Any indication what was on that page or what was before or after it?
No.
Just a page has been torn out. Some serious existential stuff going on in this thing. How about the photo that's under the next to the bed?
On the nightstand next to the fold-out bed, there is a photo showing a dark-haired child looking similar to Leah herself, apparently. That's in a frame.
I'm gonna call in on the KIA. Hey, do you see anything in the apartment? What's it like in there?
Well, Agent Moreau, it looks rather Spartan.
That makes sense. Well, there's takeout on the table.
Charred butterfly.
Is there anything under the bed?
Well, look. I will look under the bed and look in the drawers of the her nightstand.
Nothing in the drawers, nothing under the bed.
What? I can't make out what this is, but
That is a jar of. On the small table next to the sofa, there is a butterfly jar with several surreal yet beautiful butterflies in it.
jars of butterflies. Are there any markings on the jar? Any brand names?
No.
This is an anemoid row. Okay. Dakota is recalling.
And of course they're artificial.
Yeah.
Also, give me an observation roll.
Sure. One success.
As you're putting the picture frame back, it kind of jostles a bit, and you kind of realize, oh, it sort of easily comes out of the frame.
Okay.
And pulling it out of the frame, you can see what's on the back.
All right. That's why I didn't flip it. I didn't do that. I wasn't sure. It says handout L.
Yes, well, forget that.
Okay.
Part. It does not say that.
So it's stamped Doc Badger?
It's a safe word.
Okay, so she's going to...
do a connections roll on that.
Yes? Okay. I have a suspicion. Yeah. Double success.
Okay, critical success. Doc Badger is a pawn shop owner in Sector 5.
Pawn shop owner. Okay, just another cursory search of the rest of the apartment. Anything else in closets? Just, the usuals.
Just the usual.
Okay. Okay.
Meanwhile, as Malcolm Spinner makes its way to the Lilith Memory Lab.